Welcome to the very first episode of Talking iPad. Talking iPad is going to be a short form talk show that happens weekly. When I say short form, I mean 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not talking like The Late Show or The Tonight Show, but like an average YouTube show. It's going to be broken up into a few different segments. The first is going to cover any iPad related news that happened that week. Then we're going to cover a topic, and then at the end, I'm going to do some Q&A. You're going to be able to send in questions for me to answer. I'm probably going to do 2 or 3 a week, just kind of depending on the time. I want to keep it between 10 to 15 minutes. You can use the hashtag Talking iPad QA. I will put a little title right here, and you can send it in via Twitter that way. I do ask that you send it in via Twitter because I have some automation set up that will automatically add that to a spreadsheet. If you don't want it to just go out into the world, you can @ me. I'm @ Chris_Lolly. But if you don't have a Twitter account, I'm not going to make you sign up for a Twitter account. You can just email me. My contact info is in the description below. I just ask that you kind of keep it short, so it makes it easier for me to read while filming. What this is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to create more videos. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know a big style of mine is I write out a script, I record the script, I edit the script, I film the video, I edit the B-roll, all that stuff. And that takes a lot of time to do. So there's big gaps in between my videos. Plus, I also have a day job. This isn't my full-time job. So I want to be able to start producing more content, and part of that is going to be these videos. So what my goal is to do one of these videos a week, and one of my bigger, more highly produced videos. I don't necessarily care for that phrase, but I can't think of something better right now. But one of those videos with VO and B-roll and all that stuff, those are still my favorite kind of videos to do, but they just take so much time. I'm not able to make all the content I want to make, and a lot of iPad related news and productivity stuff that I want to talk about just gets right passed on by because I don't have the time to talk about it. So that's what this kind of gives me the room to do. So like I said, I want to be able to produce one of these a week and one of my other style, the style that you guys are probably kind of used to by now. I want to produce one of those a week as well, and then they're going to complement each other. We're going to skip any iPad related news right now for this week because I kind of did a long intro, and we're going to go right into the topic. And this topic is going to be talking about gear I've been using while we're kind of all in lockdown, and with new iPads and the Magic Keyboard and stuff coming out, I've been picking up a few things here and there that I've wanted to talk about. I've actually been wanting to do a gear video for a while, but just didn't feel like the right time with everything that was going on. But this feels like the perfect spot, especially since some of you guys have been asking me about a lot of this gear that you've seen in the background of my videos. The first one, and the big one being this laptop stand. You guys asked about this one in my last video, the apps video. This thing is pretty cool. There's not really a name for it. It's one of those Amazon products that's its name is just a bunch of SEO tags like laptop stand for Apple, MacBook, Lenovo, HP, like whatever. But this thing, it's pretty sturdy. It's made out of metal. I will say it was a complete pain to put together. You might be able to see here, some of the screws aren't exactly even. Luckily, there's these rubber feet, so it worked out that it didn't really matter. But it was kind of a pain to put together. They give you this really small Allen wrench that, throw that thing away, get your own screwdriver, grab your screwdriver kit, and do that yourself. It's just the standard like diamond head screws, but the screws are really small. So if you have big meaty hands like mine, like it's hard to... It was a pain to put together, but once it was put together, I really like it. The reason why I picked this one, first off, design-wise, I film my desk a lot, as you guys know from watching my videos, so I like to have things that look good, that complement the video. Nobody wants to look at something ugly in a video. That's why I don't film myself very often. But that was a joke. I was just trying to beat you guys to the comment section there. No, so I didn't want something that was like too hideous looking, and I'll be honest, a lot of laptop stands are too hideous, but this works perfect. It's height adjustable and it's angle adjustable. So basically what this means is I'm able to set this down like right there, grab the Magic Keyboard, and boom, I now have an ergonomic setup. It doesn't look ergonomic because this isn't the desk that this is set at, and I'm sitting at the wrong height right now. But when I'm at that desk, it's perfect for that. So editing video, writing scripts, stuff like that. This is a way more ergonomic setup. I like using this over an external monitor. I've been using an external monitor for a while, but the problem is my external monitor, its color reproduction isn't very accurate. So for editing videos and editing photos, it's not something I want to stick with. And until like Apple truly embraces the external monitor for the iPad, I'm not going to go out and buy a fancy monitor that has good color reproduction. If that comes in iPad OS 14, you know I will. But yeah, until that's a for sure feature, I'm not going to do that. So, what about those people that don't have the Magic Keyboard or don't want a laptop stand, that just want a normal iPad stand? This guy right here, the Bontend iPad stand. This thing fits, they say it goes from the iPad mini all the way up to the 12.9-inch iPad. I don't have an iPad mini to test, but I do have a 9.7-inch iPad. I put it in, and it did fit. So, but I mean, I'm sure if they say it is, it probably does. It's super adjustable. It's got 2 hinges, so it's got this bottom hinge, and then it's got this top hinge. Actually, 3 hinges, I'm sorry. And then this hinge. So there's 3 hinges, and the base is weighted. So that means you can pretty much get it at any height. It goes up pretty tall, but with the base being weighted, that means when you tap the screen of the iPad, it doesn't wiggle as much. There is some wiggle. What you were seeing right there, that wiggle was not the stand. It was the table that this is set on. It's not very sturdy. Because physics, guys. Like, you have something up high like that, you tap it on the top part, it's going to wobble a little bit. But with a weighted base, it cuts down on the wobble. So that's what I like about that. It also has this cable track at the bottom, which allows you to run cables up. Kind of a nice touch. I like that. It's not super thick, so you're not going to be able to get more than one in there, but it's nice. I like it. It's a good stand if you want to sit at an iPad, if you want to have it up high like this, and then have like a keyboard and a mouse down here. Like, it's perfect for that kind of setup if that's what you want. Next up is the Keychron keyboard. This is the keyboard that I've been using while my iPad has been in the stand. I really like this keyboard. It's the only wireless mechanical keyboard that I've ever used that I actually really like. It, of course, has the blue switches because, as we all know, the blue switches are the best. I'm kidding. Everyone can have their own preferences of switches. I just personally like the blue switches. I like that clicky sound and stuff like that. If you share an office with somebody, check with them before you buy a mechanical keyboard. Don't be that person that just shows up to work with a mechanical keyboard making all that noise. Check with your office mate if you have one. I like this keyboard. You can switch between Mac and Windows layout. Obviously, if you're pairing it with an iPad, you want the Mac layout. I like the design of it. It kind of looks like that old school mechanical keyboard look. It has backlighting, but if you're using it in wireless mode, I recommend don't use the backlighting because it will eat up the battery life. When the backlighting's off, like, I rarely ever have to charge it. When I do turn on the backlighting, it dies pretty quickly. So I'm in a pretty well lit office. Like, I don't ever really worry about using the backlighting. I did pick up their wrist rest. I would avoid this one. Just get some other wrist rest. It was like $30. It was way too much. It's too wide, and also it's like not tall enough. So if you go to their website, you can buy the wrist rest specifically for this keyboard, the Keychron K2, and it's wide and not tall enough. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I'd avoid the wrist rest, but the keyboard itself, the keyboard is very, very good. I know you're not supposed to use wrist rest before all the ergonomic people. I know you're not. I know you're supposed to type like this, but the keyboard is really thick. So like typing like that, it's kind of hard for a long time. So like if you just get a wrist rest that's kind of decently high up, it'll put your wrists in the proper spot and you'll be fine. I use wrist rest. It's fine. It's not the end of the world, people. It's okay. So next thing is this guy. It's CalDigit external hard drive. CalDigit sent me this. Everything else I paid for. Everything that comes after this, I paid for it. This is the only thing that was sent to me in this video. They sent me this to kind of try out and mess with. It's a 500 gig external hard drive. They now have a 1 terabyte version out. What's cool about this is it's IP67 resistant. That means it's dust and waterproof resistant up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. I threw it in a cup of water and left it in there for a few minutes, took it out, plugged it in. The first time it didn't work, and I freaked out and thought I broke it. Turned out, no, it was just a bug in the Files app. And if you've ever used the Files app, you're like, oh, yeah, you got to restart your iPad like every single time you want to use it. It's kind of depressing. But anyways, it actually works really well. My previous favorite external hard drive was the Samsung T5. This is almost double the speed of this guy if you just go on like what the two companies say these things run at, because there isn't really a good way of testing that on the iPad. I did like move some photos and videos and stuff around between the two, and this one was definitely faster. So I definitely like this one. Samsung has a new one called the T7, which sounds really cool. It's basically the it's on par with this one as speed. I think like spec wise, it slightly ekes out that one, but like the spec sheets for drives, it's ultimately I really like it. Like even if I got a few megabits per second out of a faster one, it's not the whatever. It's water resistant, which is great. So when I go, not right now traveling, but when I was going traveling and going up into the mountains and in the snow, I didn't have to worry about this getting ruined if snow or water got in my bag. I'd have to worry about a whole bunch of other things getting ruined, but not this, which is good because I back up all my photos to this. So that's really nice. One backup of photos. Have multiple backups, people. The last thing I want to talk about, a little upset that I had to buy these. So AirPods Pro, hands down my favorite headphones. Still are. Sorry, guys. Still aren't my favorite headphones, but the problem is the noise canceling in them isn't, I'd call it noise muffling. Fine for probably most people, but I have ADHD, so something walks by or I hear a noise, I go, and just hone in on that, and I lose focus on that, and then I'll probably lose focus on that, and then move around, and it's a whole mess. So the AirPods Pro, since I've been home, and starting to get warmer in the afternoons, I've been opening up this window over here. Well, there's a walkway right here. People like to walk past and talk, and I don't really want to know what Stacy has going on right now. So I just want to block all that out. And the AirPods Pro weren't doing the trick. So I bought the Sony, such terrible names, WH-1000X M3. That's a really terrible name, Sony. They're great, though. They're fantastic headphones. I use it. They have noise cancellation. They have their version of transparency mode, which is called ambient noise. So it lets noise in as opposed to noise canceling, which keeps noise out. Noise canceling is fantastic. I can open the window, and there's like a street right out here. Cars drive by. I don't hear the cars. Noise canceling is fantastic on these. They're complete and utter overkill for what I use them for other than the noise canceling. I have dark noise and Mubert pretty much playing through these. They're terrible at pairing to multiple devices. The Sony app that you have to use to pair it with, I don't know why I did air quotes on the word app. It is an app, but it only supports the iPhone. There is no iPad version. So when you're buying headphones, especially expensive headphones, maybe make your app support all the platforms. So anyways, I just leave them paired to my iPhone, and I listen to dark noise and Mubert on that when I'm writing and things like that. It really helps me focus. I don't use them for podcasting or audio editing. I still use my Audio Technica headphones for that because that's what those are really meant for. Those are really good at that, and I really like those for those. But I honestly, I was having such a hard time. Like I had a week where I just couldn't get anything done because of all the noises and stuff happening out there, and it gets really warm in the afternoon here now, and I don't really want to run my AC all day because it just bumps up. Anyways, I digress. These are really great headphones if you need noise canceling. That's my point. So that's the end of Talking iPad episode 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any notes for me or anything, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any questions, again, use the Talking iPad QA hashtag, or you can email me. Just please keep it kind of short so I can read it, or make it so that I can summarize it at least. But I'm really excited for this direction. So, yeah, let's get to it. Have a great day.